Good morning, dear students. Today we discussed about prostaglandin synthesis and important prostaglandin analogs, their therapeutic uses. What is prostaglandin? When we injured, a complicated process of inflammation and blood clotting is triggered. This prostaglandins, these are the group of lipids. So you can say lipid hormones. This usually created during chemical reaction at the site where an injury or other issues occurs. So these are mainly problems with prostaglandins can limit the healing process. This causes the increased inflammation, pain, and this impact to our overall health. So these prostaglandins are the unique among hormones because unlike most of the chemical messengers, they are not secreted from a gland. Instead, they are created at the time they are needed directly where the problem exists. So here we first know what are the pathways of eicosanoid synthesis. So this main pathway of prostaglandin synthesis is the eicosanoid synthesis. And now the action of eicosanoids, this mainly prostaglandin, leukotriene and platelet activating factors. These are commonly called as eicosanoids. So know the action of eicosanoid on the tissues throughout our body. Then know the therapeutic uses, adverse effects and contraindication to the use of eicosanoids. So, for the discovery of prostaglandins in humans in 1935 by Swedish physiologist Ulf von Uller, and he won the 1982 Nobel Prize. Sune K. Bergersten, Samuelson, John Irwin, these are awarded Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine of 1982 for their discoveries concerning prostaglandins and related biologically active substance. So we come to this, the eicosanoid. What is eicosanoid? These are the derivatives of 20 carbon atom polyunsaturated essential fatty acids. These are usually derived from cell membrane phospholipids. These are the most universally distributed autocods, prostaglandins, leukotrienes and thromboxane A2. These are collectively called as eicosanoids. So today we discussed about this prostaglandin synthesis, their analogs and their therapeutic uses. Prostaglandins, these are the derivatives of prostanoic acid. These are mainly synthesized locally in response to appropriate stimuli like injury, infections. This is the main pathway of prostanoids. This mainly synthesized from arachidonic acid. This arachidonic acid is a 20 carbon unsaturated fatty acids, and from their phospholipase A2, this enzymatic degradations occurs, and this the two pathways, this COX and LOX pathway. From this COX pathway, this the COX1 and COX2 pathways. When the body is functioning normally, this baseline level of prostaglandins are produced by the action of COX1. When our body is injured or inflammations occurs in any area of the body, this COX2 is activated and produce extra prostaglandins. When this COX2 is activated, this extra amount of prostaglandins are produced, which help the body to respond to injuries. But with more amount of prostaglandins are produced, this results the some diseases like this rheumatoid arthritis, and this also leads to some unwanted inflammations, heavy menstrual bleeding, painful menstrual cramps. So this extra prostaglandin production is also harmful, and this leads to some disease conditions. Okay. So from this arachidonic acid split into two pathways, COX1 and COX2. And this prostaglandin H2 is synthesized from this. All these prostaglandin groups, this main prostaglandins are PGE2, F2, IA2. These all are synthesized. And this also thromboxane A2. This also synthesized. So this prostaglandin mainly acting on the specific receptor. There is at least 8 different prostaglandin receptors have been discovered. The presence of these receptors in different organs throughout the body, this allows the different actions of each prostaglandins to carry out. This depending on which receptors they interact with. So these are the main prostanoid receptors. This acting through this prostanoid receptor, which all are G protein coupled receptors. This the prostaglandin D2, this DP receptors for D2 and EP for PGE2, FP for PGF2 alpha and IP for PGI2 and TP for thromboxane A2. And this again is split into DP1 and DP2 receptor. DP1 is known as the relaxin receptor. This main role is dilates blood vessels and inhibit platelet aggregation. DP2 receptors mainly couples with GI protein and inhibit CMP generation. This EP receptors has the highest affinity for PGE2. Enopristolol is the selective agonist. There's again 4 subtypes. EP1, this is the contractile receptor. This main role is contracts visceral smooth muscles but is less abundant in our body. EP2 and EP4 are known as the relaxant in nature. This mainly increasing the CMP levels in smooth muscles, but the same second messenger and is enhanced chlorine and water secretions. EP4, this have the wide distribution. EP3, this the inhibitory and this decrease the CMP generation by coupling with GI proteins. FP receptor, this the contractile receptors, is highly expressed in female genital tract and is present in many other organs. This fluprostanol is the selective agonist. IP receptors, again this the relaxin receptor, highest affinity for PGI2, but its PGE2 is also act on it. Cisaprose is the selective agonist. It is mainly expressed in heart, lungs, kidney, platelets and is highest density in vasculature. TP is the highest affinity for thromboxane A2 contractile receptors. This abundant in platelets, CVS, immune cells and many other organs. PGH2, this also activate these TP receptors. So chemically, these prostaglandins are the derivatives of prostanoic acid. This mainly contains the 20 carbon fatty unsaturated carbon chains, and this also contains the cyclopentane ring. This the prostanoic acid is the main derivative of these prostaglandins. There are different types of prostaglandins, thus PGD2, E2 and F2, G2, H2, I2. These are the important prostaglandins. And what are their actions of these different categories of prostaglandins? This main action on CVS, prostacyclin, this mainly causes the vasodilatory action. And thromboxane A2, this mainly causes vasoconstriction. PGE2 and F2 alpha, there are very weak cardiac stimulant actions. Next is role on GIT. Mostly these prostaglandins and thromboxane stimulates GI smooth muscles and this resulting colic and watery diarrhea. PGE2, this shows the inhibitory action on gastric acid secretion and this enhances the mucus production. So this also have a protective effect on gastric mucosa. PGE2 and I2, these are main role in the bronchial smooth muscles. This cause the relaxing effect. And this thromboxane A2 and PGF2 alpha mainly shows the contractory actions on bronchial smooth muscles. Next is action on platelets. This thromboxane A2 mainly induce platelet aggregation while this PGI2 inhibit platelet aggregations. This PGE2 and PGI2, this type is mainly causes the renal vasodilation and also have a diuretic action. Next is prostaglandins action on uterus. PGE2 and F2 alpha mainly shows the contractory action on human uterus, which is more sensitive to prostaglandin during pregnancy. Both this PGE2 and I2, these are responsible for maintaining the patency of fetal ductus arteriosus. PGF2 alpha is more potent on their action on uterus is comparing to PGE2. This action on CNS, this prostaglandins mainly increase body temperature. When this administered into cerebral ventricles, this also induce sleep. This PGE1 and E2 are pyrogenic. This is action on nervous system. This PGE2 and I2 sensitize sensory nerve endings to pain, and on intradermal injection this causes pain. Next is action on bone. Prostaglandins mainly stimulates bone resorption and formation, increase the bone turnover. PGE2 mainly plays an important role in osteoporosis. Next is important role in eye. Some of these prostaglandins helpful to lower the intraocular pressure, like this PGF2 alpha, PGE2. This mainly useful in treatment of glaucoma. This action is some of this PGE2, this considered to be the principal pro-oncogenic prostanoids. This thromboxane A2 is a pro-carcinogenic mediator. These are some adverse reactions: diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, fever, hypertension and pain. These are the important categories of prostaglandin, their analogs and their specific uses. This PGE2, this danoprostone, this PG analog mainly used in midterm abortion, induction of hesitation of labor. PGE1, gimipros, this mainly useful in cervical priming in early pregnancy, mid-trimester abortion. This PGE1 alloprostadol, this mainly useful in case of erectile dysfunction and to maintain the patency of ductus arteriosus. PGI2, this prostacyclin epoprostenol, this mainly useful in case of pulmonary hypertension and to prevent platelet aggregation in cardiopulmonary bypass. PGF2 alpha, this latanoprost, this mainly useful in the case of treatment of glaucoma. This mainly lower the intraocular pressure. These are common therapeutic uses of all these prostaglandin analogs in case of gynecological and obstetrical uses: abortion for first and second trimester abortion, repairing of cervix during abortion. In case this PGE2 and PGF2 alpha are mainly used. Misoprostol and gimipros, this PGE1 derivative, which is given orally for abortification purpose. It is used mostly with mifepristone to induce abortion in the first week of pregnancy. Carbopros, this PGF2 alpha derivative, this mainly inducing the second trimester abortion. Facilitation of labor, mainly PGE2 as an alternative to oxytocin in patients with renal failure. For the cervical priming, this intravaginal PGE2 is used. For postpartum hemorrhage, intramuscular PGF2 alpha is used as an alternative to ergometrin. Yes, in peptic ulcer, this PGE1 analog, this misoprostol, PGE2 enoprostol, these are used for the prevention of peptic ulcer in patients on high dose NSAIDs. CVS, this patency of ductus arteriosus, patency of fetal ductus arteriosus, this mainly depends on local prostaglandin synthesis. This PGE1 alloprostadol is most effective. Is neonates with some congenital heart disease, patency of ductus arteriosus is maintained with prostaglandins until surgery is done. And to prevent platelet aggregation during hemodialysis, PGI2, this epoprostenol is most useful. Prostaglandins are used in pulmonary hypertension and some of these peripheral vascular diseases. As PGI2 preparation, this epoprostenol mainly lowers the peripheral pulmonary and coronary resistance. This long-acting PGI2 analog, this treprostinil IV or subcutaneously, this has recently been approved for use in pulmonary hypertension. This the role in pregnancy. This PGI2 this mainly promotes cervical repining. This exogenous PGE2 is used as pessaries or jellies in the induction of labor. PGF2 alpha, this mainly increases the intracellular calcium which increase myometrical contractility. Majority this used due to less side effects. PGI2, that's prostacyclin, this mainly inhibits uterine contractility. These are the some side effects of different prostaglandin analogs. PGD2, this is the asthma, fall in BP, clotting time increases. PGE2, this shows the watery diarrhea, diuresis, rise body temperature, pain, sedation. There is no closure of ductus arteriosus. PGF2 alpha, this shows the contraction of uterus, dysmenorrhea, asthma. PGI2, this diuretic effects, fever, algesia, inflammation, clotting time increases. Next we come to this contraindication. This PGE2 is contraindicated in hypersensitivity to prostaglandins, and this PGE2 this should be avoided in scenarios in which vaginal delivery or the induction of labor is contraindicated and should be stopped before the administration of oxytocin. Now we come to this discussion of case. They say 24-year-old G3P3 woman. Now this 90 minutes after vaginal delivery and is having received an injection of methyl ergoverin as continues to have a postpartum bleeding. Her uterus is firmer but still somewhat boggy. Her heart rate remains mildly tachycardia, but her blood pressure has gone up in response to methyl ergoverin. Her examination is otherwise unchanged. So in this condition, now you order an IM injection of carboprost. This is the prostaglandin PGF2 alpha. So what are the therapeutic actions of this PGF2 alpha in postpartum hemorrhage? And what are the effects of PGF thus on vascular smooth muscles? And what are the effects on bronchial smooth muscle? So what are the therapeutic actions of PGF2 alpha in postpartum hemorrhage? In this case, there is the 24-year-old woman has continued postpartum hemorrhage despite ergot alkaloids. So this PGF2 alpha is preferred. So this action, this causes the contraction of uterine smooth muscles. And in vascular smooth muscles, this arterial vasodilation occurs and this construction of superficial veins. In bronchial smooth muscles, this causes the contracting effect. Okay. Then another case, in case of 38-year-old woman is taking ibuprofen for severe dysmenorrhea but developed epigastric pain. So this physician prescribed medications to prevent gastritis. So which one is the best prescribed medications? This is the question for you. You can find out which analog is most important. So now we covered the prostaglandin. Their eicosanoid synthesize eicosanoid pathway for the synthesis of prostaglandins, and what are the prostaglandin analogs, their therapeutic uses, contraindications, adverse effects, their special indications. Okay, thank you so much.